So for today's meditation, we will start by coming into a comfortable seated position. You might take a moment to shift yourself. I recommend sitting in any way that allows you to have a tall spine. And so for some, that might just mean sitting cross-legged on the floor or on a cushion. For others, that might mean bringing yourself against a wall, or maybe you're in a chair with some back support. Just make sure wherever you're at, you can find a tall spine. Another thing you want to make sure of is that you feel grounded and supported in your seat with whatever it is you may be sitting on. And then you can just find a placement that makes sense for your legs and feet and your hands. Usually having your hands on your lap is fine. And we'll take a moment here to turn inward. So go ahead and take a moment. And you can either close your eyes or soften your gaze. And just begin to notice your body, letting yourself really arrive here in the moment. And notice the general tone in your body. How are you feeling today? We'll begin just by noticing the breath, feeling into your natural inhale and exhale. And as you inhale, you can think about inviting in a sense of calm throughout the body. And as you exhale, you can think about releasing any tension in the body. And that could mean unclenching in your jaw. And that could also mean releasing the shoulders down away from the ears. And give yourself permission here just to be present and just to soften up as much as you can. And we'll just be here for maybe another 4 or 5 rounds of breath. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling out the nose. And if your eyes are closed, you can open your eyes and take your gaze to the artwork. And just look at the image as a whole. And feel into the energy. And noticing what you're seeing here. And maybe for you, you find that your eyes are drawing to a specific location in the image. And just seeing where your eyes are taking you. And make a choice. Take a moment to decide one spot to gaze upon. Could be in any part. And whatever part of the image has captured your attention, take a moment to be with that. And really looking at it. And noticing how it makes you feel. Maybe if there are thoughts or ideas or stories or emotions that come up for you as you're looking at this particular spot of the image. and spend some time there, giving yourself permission to really be with the image in this spot that you're looking at. Giving yourself permission to use your imagination. What is the image revealing to you? What is this one area that you're looking at revealing to you? And if this one area that you're looking at continues to inspire you or resonate with you, you can continue to focus there. Or if you'd like, you can broaden your gaze and look at the overall image once again. And see where your eyes take you this time. Maybe you spend a little bit of time looking at the image as a whole and seeing how that feels for you. Or maybe your eyes start to go to another location. Could take you to another part of the image. Maybe one you didn't even notice at first when you first looked upon it. And giving yourself a moment here, another moment, a new moment with the image. And taking it in, whatever it is that's capturing your attention this time. And being open to what it might reveal to you. Again, there could be feelings. There could be stories, thoughts. Maybe it reminds you of something. And just giving yourself that space to explore that. And maybe for you, you'd like to stay here for a while, and that would be okay. This is your meditation and your journey. So you can interact with the image, with the artwork as you'd like. If you'd like to follow along, you can go back to seeing the image as a whole. And maybe take a moment here to really perceive everything. Observing with some attention what you're seeing. The colors, the shapes, the lines, textures, and forms. Maybe noticing the shadows and the highlights. Maybe noticing the parts that may feel warm and the parts that may feel more cool. And how do each of those parts make you feel about the piece as a whole? Being open and receptive to how this image may be making you feel right now. And also being open if there isn't anything in particular that feels very strong. And that's okay too. That's something to also observe. Now we're going to be a little bit more specific here in our meditation. I invite you to bring your attention to one of the flowers that you might be seeing here in front of you. And just take a moment to notice it and really examine it. And within that spot you're looking at, the flower, you can really observe the colors and the shape, the shadows and highlight, the texture, notice how it makes you feel. Just gazing at one part of the image. And then I invite you to bring your attention to one of the stems. And it can be any of the ones that you are seeing in front of you. And again, noticing here the colors and the shadows and the highlights. And seeing what else it reveals to you. And from the stems, I invite you to bring your attention to one of the many leaves. Noticing the leaves, the shape, and the lines and the texture. And just paying attention to it, seeing what it reveals to you. Now I invite you to look at the plant as a whole. And just taking it all in, noticing how it makes you feel, and being receptive to what comes up. Maybe the things that come up feel really clear and certain, or maybe what comes up is a little bit more subtle, or harder to describe, or abstract, and that's okay as well. Just acknowledging that. And then we'll take a moment here and go on another part of this journey. And just imagine as if you were in this image. And imagine where you would be and how you would feel. And imagine who or what you would be. Would you just be you inside of the image in front of this plant? Or would you be the plant or be a part of the plant? Or would you be something else, like the background or something in the background? Take a moment to let your imagination roam a little bit, giving yourself space to be curious and maybe playful. Now, whatever it is you're imagining, or whoever it is you're imagining yourself as, notice how you feel inside the image. Is there a sense of lightness or a sense of darkness in you? Is there a sense of warmth or a sense of coolness? And what feelings might show up? And what is the texture of your being in this imagination? And what smells might you smell? And what sounds might you hear? Give yourself a moment to feel into that space. Feel into the space of who or whatever you might be when you're inside this image. And we'll take a moment to step out of the image, coming back into your body, into you, coming back into you as a meditator, as someone who is gazing at the image, at the artwork, and noticing the image, whether it be as a whole or whether it be a particular area that has captured your interest or attention. And one more time, just being open to how you're feeling, being open to what comes up to you, whether that be stories or emotions or ideas, or just something that you're reminded of right now. And we'll take one last time to really focus on the image as a whole, if you're not already doing that. And really notice as much detail as you can. Colors, shapes, lines, textures, forms, and taking it all in. And maybe noticing now, after that journey you took, how you're feeling, coming back into the body, making sure your spine is still tall, making sure that your shoulders are still away from the ears. And take a moment here to take a big inhale in through the nose and exhale out the mouth. The meditation is now complete.